Coptic calendar months in Egypt. Did you know that the Coptic calendar is still used in Egypt? For millennia, the Coptic Christian community has formed an essential strand in the fabric of Egyptian culture. As can be seen through the remnants of the Coptic language and the standing Coptic churches, the influences have long stood the test of time. Similarly, the Coptic calendar has managed to weave its way into the everyday lives of some Egyptian communities. Historically, Copts in Egypt were brutally persecuted under the Roman Empire. Under the rule of Diocletian, the Roman emperor, Christians were mercilessly killed and tortured. After this great suffering, the Copts named their calendar Anno Martyrum or AM, Latin for Era of the Martyrs, to commemorate the era of martyrdom that the Copts endured under the Roman Emperor Diocletian in 280 AD. The era of martyrs is remembered as the Church's strongest period. Due to the steadfastness of its believers and its ability to withstand and survive challenges, as said by Tertullian, a 2nd century Western Church father, the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the Church. The evolution of the calendar. The Coptic calendar is known as the most recent rendition of the ancient Egyptian civil calendar. The civil calendar was divided into 3 seasons based on Nile observations. The season of inundation, Ake, the season of planting, Parate, and the season of harvest, Shimu. The 11th day of September marks the start of Nowruz, the Coptic New Year, as well as the Egyptian New Year, except for the year preceding a leap year when it is celebrated on September 12. Copts also preserved the ancient names of the solar year, where each month was named after a god who was believed to be in control of the climate and agricultural activity during the corresponding time of the year: Taut, Baba, Hathor, Kiaka, Toba, Amshir, Baramhat, Baramuda, Bashans, Paona, Epep, Mesra, and Nazi. Although the calendar is associated with the Coptic Church for its liturgical readings and to determine the dates for feasts and fasts. Outside the walls of the church, modern-day Egyptian farmers of all faiths use the calendar as a basis for regulating the cycle of seeding and harvesting crops. To best capture the changing in seasons, each Coptic month is accompanied by its own witty proverb. For example, February, known as Amshir, comes with the proverb, Abu al-Zabib al-Keter, Yakad el-Agaza w Yater, Amshir huffs and puffs, and makes the old woman fly. The reason this proverb accompanies Amshir is because this month is known to be windy and full of sandstorms, so Egyptian farmers divided this month into 3, Mashir, the 10 days where it is deceptively warm, Meshirshar, the following 10 days where it is very cold, rainy and windy, and Sharashar, the last 10 days, where old people start to move around and enjoy the warm weather. The origins of the Coptic months. The Coptic calendar is also referred to as the Alexandrian calendar, and this calendar is used by the Coptic Orthodox Church. The calendar is based on the ancient Egyptian calendar. It is the oldest in history. It originated 3 millennia before Christ. The exact date of its origin is unknown. It is believed that Imhotep, the supreme official of King Djoser 2670 BC, influenced the construction of the calendar. The Egyptian calendar is simple. It is neither a lunar nor a solar calendar. Months do not correspond to lunar months and years do not correspond to solar years. The Egyptians calculated their years by the stars. They used the star Sirius, which the Egyptians called Sothis. Sothis returns to the same point in the calendar every 1,460 years, a period called the Sothic cycle. A reform of the ancient Egyptian calendar was introduced at the time of Ptolemy III, Decree of Canopus, in 238 BC. However, the reform was opposed by the Egyptian priests, and the idea was not adopted until 25 BC, when the Roman Emperor Augustus formally reformed the calendar of Egypt, keeping it forever synchronized with the newly introduced Julian calendar. This reformed calendar is known as the Coptic calendar. The Coptic year is an extension of the ancient Egyptian civil year, retaining subdivisions of 3 seasons and 4 months each. The 3 seasons are commemorated by special prayers in the Coptic liturgy. This calendar is still in use all over Egypt by farmers keeping track of the agricultural seasons. The Coptic calendar has 13 months, 12 are 30 days each, and an extra month, similar to a leap year, at the end of every year of 5 or 6 days. the Feast of Nowruz marks the first day of the Coptic year. In Coptic, Nowruz comes from the word Nayarwa meaning river. Its celebration falls on the first day of the first month named Tut, which usually coincides with the 11th day of September. Coptic years are counted from AD 284, the year Diocletian became Roman emperor, whose reign was marked by tortures and mass executions of Christians, especially in Egypt. Hence, the Coptic year is identified by the abbreviation AM, for Anno Martyrum or Year of the Martyrs. To obtain the Coptic year number, subtract 283 from the Julian year number. Before the new year, the ancient Egyptians named their months after their gods, and chose their names according to the season of the climatic changes for agriculture. They divided the year into 3 main seasons. 1. The season of the flood of the Nile. Tut to Kayak, 2. The season of vegetation. Tuba to Baramuda, 3. The season of reaping and harvesting. Bashans to Mizrai, 4. The short month is not a season, and is a chance for feasts and festivals. The Coptic months, Tut, named after the god Teget, Tut or Tuhout, who is the god of wisdom, science, art inventions, and divine mysteries for the Egyptians. American calendar equivalent, September 11th, 12 in the leap year, to October 10th, Baba, named after Yee-pee or Hapi, the god of the Nile or of Thebes. He is also the god of vegetation. During this month, the face of the earth becomes green with vegetation. American calendar equivalent, October 11th, 12 in the leap year, to November 9th. Hathor, named after Hathor or Hatho, the goddess of love and beauty, because during this month the land becomes lush and green. American calendar equivalent, November 10th, 11 in the leap year, to December 9th, Kayak, named after Kahaka, the god of good, who is the sacred bull Apis. American calendar equivalent, December 10th, 11 in the leap year, to January 8th, Tuba, named after the god Amso or Kem, who is a form of the god Amoun-ru, the god of Thebes in Upper Egypt. He is the god of the growth of nature because much rain falls during this month. American calendar equivalent, January 9th, 10 in the leap year, to February 7th, Amshir, particular to the genius of wind, because the storms and wind occur much during this month. It is the month in which the summer heat begins. American calendar equivalent, February 8th, 9 in the leap year, to March 9th. Baramhat, named after the god Mont, which is the god of war. During this month, the temperature is high and thus the Egyptians called it the month of the sun. American calendar equivalent, March 10th to April 8th, Baramuda, named after Reno, the god of severe wind or death. During this month, the season of vegetation ends and the earth becomes dry. American calendar equivalent, April 9th to May 8th. Bashans, named after Khonso, the god of the moon, one of the Theban trinity and the son of Amoun-ru and Maut. American calendar equivalent, May 9th to June 7th, Bauna, named after Kenti, one of the names of Horus or the sun. It means the god of metals. American calendar equivalent, June 8th to July 7th, Abib, named after Api or Abib, who is the big serpent which Horus, the son of Osiris, killed to revenge for his father. American calendar equivalent, July 8th to August 6th. Mishra, particular to the birth of the sun or what is known as the summer shift. American calendar equivalent, August 7th to September 5th, El Nasi, the short month it has 5 days in 3 successive years and 6 days in the leap year. American calendar equivalent, September 6th to 10th. It has been said, in Egypt, we have enjoyed the waters of Tuba, the milk of Amshir, Thekrobof Baramhat Theblasamsof Baramuda, the sea buckthorn of Bashans, Thefigsof Bauna, the honey off Abib, the grapes off Mishra, the dates off Tut, Thepomegranate off Tuba, the bananas off Haaturinth fish of Kayak.